For this next lesson, we're going to talk about inserting and editing image and graphics in your documents. In order to insert a graphic or image, you do have to be on your insert ribbon. And on the insert ribbon, we see the illustrations group. From here, you can insert charts, shapes, and pictures. You'll notice that one command says online pictures and the other command says pictures. Pictures will search your picture library that's on your computer, and you can insert those images into your document. Online Pictures has replaced clip art. Now technically you're still inserting clip art. The only difference is instead of being stored as part of your Word subscription, it's stored online at office.com. This means that in order to access clip art, you do have to have internet access, and you have to have constant internet access really to use this feature at any given time. If you click on the Online Pictures command, you'll see a little Insert Pictures pop up. You can insert pictures that you might have stored on online accounts such as SkyDrive, Facebook, or Flickr. You can also do a web search, a Bing web search for images on the web, or you can look for images from office.com. Now, I'm going to recommend you use the office.com pictures, the traditional clip art, because these are royalty-free pictures or pictures that you are licensed to use in your documents for commercial or non-commercial reasons. If you do a Bing web search, it will retrieve images that are copyrighted and images that are not copyrighted. I encourage you to learn more about copyright before inserting pictures from the web. Let's look at office.com. Notice there's a search bar, and we're going to type a keyword, in this case library. You can click the search button or hit the enter key on your keyboard to retrieve those images. When you see an image that you want to use, click on it and then choose Insert. The image is inserted into the area where your cursor is currently located. If I go back to the Insert ribbon, go back to Online Pictures, I'll show you what a Bing image search looks like. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to type library, hit enter on my keyboard, and these are retrieving images from all over the web. Now I do have a lot more images to choose from, but some of these might be licensed for specific or restricted purposes. Here we have a bar that appears search results for images licensed under Creative Commons. Please review the specific licensing for any image you want to use to ensure you comply with it. Right now these are Creative Commons license. If you want more information about Creative Commons licensing, you can contact the library. But essentially this means that they are licensed for public use. However, there are different degrees of Creative Commons licenses. Some let you use it in any work, some let you use but not edit. Others will only allow you to use them in non-commercial or non-profit work. You really need to read the specific licensing associated with each image before you use it in your document. If you click Show All Web Results, it shows everything, including images that are not Creative Commons licensing. You would insert it the same way by clicking on the document, on the picture, and then click Insert. Since I already have my image selected, I'm going to click Cancel, and I'm going to close this out to return to the image that I previously inserted. And that's how you insert images using Online Pictures. Next, I'm going to show you how to insert pictures from your saved pictures folder on your computer. Again, from the Insert ribbon, you're going to go to the Illustrations group and look for the Pictures command. From here, you will have to select a picture from your personal picture library. Once you see a picture you want, you click on it and then choose Insert. And that's how you insert a picture from your picture library. Let's talk about editing your graphics and images. I'm going to scroll back up to the picture that I had earlier with the man in the library. Notice that when you select a picture, when you click on a picture, the Picture Tools ribbon appears. If you click off of the Picture Tools ribbon, the Picture Tools ribbon will disappear. That's because the Picture Tools ribbon is another contextual ribbon. It only appears in context. You have to have an image selected in order for the Pictures tools to be present. Once you click on an image, you'll notice that little squares appear along the border. When you place your cursor along these squares, your cursor changes shape. It changes to a two-sided white arrow. When you see this, you click and drag to resize your image. You can make it as small or as large as you need to. Again, I want to click on an image, and I'm going to click and drag the borders to resize it. Notice that when you click on your image, you have a little circle with an arrow. When you move your cursor up to that circle with an arrow, it mimics the style and becomes a circle with an arrow itself. So look at my cursor and you'll see that circle and arrow. Click and drag, and it will actually allow you to flip your picture. So if you need to have it facing a certain angle, you can flip it around. Again, move your cursor up to this area, click and drag to flip your picture. When you click an image, you'll notice a little box that pops up. These are your layout options, also called wrap text. What these options do is tell your picture how to interact with text on the document. You can also find these same selections on the Picture Tools Format ribbon. In the Arrange group, here's Wrap Text. Click on that, and it's the same options as found down here. You can also get to your Wrap Text options by right-clicking on an image and choosing Wrap Text. Microsoft is a very redundant company, and by that I mean they like to give you, the user, a lot of different ways of doing the same commands. So you'll develop your own personal preferences and habits. So with Wrap Text, you can either right-click, choose Wrap Text. You can use the ribbon by clicking on the Wrap Text command on the Format ribbon. Or you can make use of the little pop-up that appears when you click on an image to change how your image will interact with text. So let's talk about the layout options. For that, I'm going to click up here and I'm going to move my cursor and my document up to the previous page where I have text and an image. So when I click on my image, I'm going to choose the little pop-up box. And the options I have to choose from are square, tight, through, top and bottom, behind text, and in front of text. For the purposes of this lesson, we're going to focus on 3 of these options. I encourage you to explore the others on your own. When you click in front of text, the image can be moved anywhere on the page, and if placed by text, it will be on top, so it will block images. If you decide to make it behind text, you can move your image anywhere on the page, and it will be behind text. The third option I want to show you is through. I'm going to click through. Notice that as I move the image, the text and other objects like my table automatically reposition themselves so that it doesn't go over or behind the borders of the picture. It gets as closely as it can to the image and still remain readable. Just like with in front of or behind text, I can now move my image anywhere on the page. If you do not set a wrap text option of some sort, your image is not as movable on the page. Word will keep it to lines, so that if I try to move this object, it won't let me. I have to wrap the text in some way to get that mobility. That's wrapping text. Next, let's talk about cropping an image. Sometimes you're going to have an image on your document, but really you just need a very specific part of the image, not the entire image. To use that specific part, you have to crop it. So again, make sure you have your image selected, so click your image. And on the ribbon, Format ribbon, we see Crop. It's in the size group in the far right. Click Crop. When you click Crop, you'll notice that some dark bars appear in the borders of the image. When you move your cursor to those borders, your cursor also becomes a dark bar. When you see your cursor become a dark bar, you can click and drag. So watch as I click and drag from the corner. Notice that some parts of the picture is shaded when I do that. The part that is shaded will be cropped out of the image. So if I click crop again up here on the ribbon, the shaded area is now gone from my document. One more time, I'll show you with the man in the library. I click on my image. I choose crop. I move my cursor, click and drag to crop the image down. The shaded area will vanish once I click crop a second time. And that's how you crop an image. Now here's a special note with cropping images. When you crop an image in Word, you're actually hiding that part of the picture. Word will pretend that that part of the image that you cropped doesn't exist, but technically it still does. If I click on this picture again and I choose crop, notice that the part that I cropped earlier still shows. That's because that picture is still technically whole within a document. Now, to give you a brief background on images, image files are typically much larger than other types of files. So when you insert a picture into Word, you're making your overall Word document size much larger. If you're trying to upload a document into email or onto a website, you might get an error message that tells you that your Word document is too large. If, while you're online, you get an error message that says your document is too large to upload, here's a trick that you can do to make your Word document a little smaller. Now, I have my image selected. I'm going to go ahead and just crop it down a little bit more. And over here in the Picture Tools Format ribbon, we see Compress Pictures. It's in the left side in the Adjust group. Compress Pictures. Click Compress Pictures. You'll notice you'll see compression options, apply only to this picture, and delete cropped areas of pictures. If I uncheck the first option, it will apply anything I do to all of the images in the entire document. If I keep it checked, it will only apply it to the picture that I have currently selected. Delete cropped areas of the pictures. This means that cropped areas are gone and they're no longer making my picture sizes larger and thereby making my Word document size larger. So I can click OK to do this. A really quick lesson from the bottom portion, the target output. You can decrease the image resolution to make the picture size even smaller. Be careful when you do this. It will distort the image in some cases. If you recall how images looked even just 5 or 6 years ago, it was a little bit more fuzzier, not as sharp as they are now. So if you decrease by going to email, you're going to see, which is the minimum document size for this, the picture quality will not be as good. For now, I'm just going to use document resolution, the default, and I want to tell it to delete cropped areas, and I'm only going to apply it to this picture. If I click OK, the cropped areas of this picture is now deleted. To prove that, if I click on my picture and I click crop, notice that no shaded areas appear. That's because this image is whole. So that's how you crop an image in Word. Another feature that I want to talk about is layering. So in some cases you can layer objects in front of each other to create a new object. So here I have my chicken picture, and I have my man in the library picture. I'm going to make my chicken picture very small. And I want my chicken picture to go on top of this picture. I'll put it in front of the book. Maybe he's reading a chicken book. Now if I didn't want to do this, if I wanted my chicken picture behind the man in the library, I can use the arrange group found on my ribbon. Notice that we see bring it forward, send it backwards. If I click send it backwards, it sends my chicken image behind the man in the library image. If I click bring it forward, it will bring my chicken image in front of the man in the library. Let me make my chicken image just a little bit bigger, just so you can see this again. Here I have my chicken image and my man in the library image. Now I'm going to click on the man in the library image, and I want to tell it to bring it forward. So now my man in the library image is in front of my chicken. If I click send it backwards, he will go behind my chicken. And that's how you layer pictures in Word using send it back and bring it forward. For this next portion, I'm going to show you some more image editing tools. I'm going to take my chicken picture and I'm going to go ahead and move him down to the next page. I'm just hitting enter on my keyboard to get that next page to appear. And I'll just click and drag, bring him down. Let's make him big so you can see him. So here's my chicken. If I click the Picture Tools ribbon, you're going to notice different styles right here in the center that we can apply. If you click the drop-down box opener, you'll see more styles. Notice that as I move my cursor over each of these styles, it previews what it would look like on my picture. There's different borders, different effects that you can apply. If you click on one, it applies it permanently, and if you don't like it, you can just click on the drop-down border and choose a different style. Next to these styles, we have picture border. So if you want to give it a colorful border, you can. Notice there's now a purple border image to this. Or over here on the other side, the adjust group, there's some artistic effects that you can apply to your image. Before we play with the artistic effects, I'm going to reset my picture to get rid of the formatting I've already applied. So if you click reset picture in the adjust group, it takes away all that formatting and it's just your regular old picture. So my chicken's right here. I'm going to go to the adjust group. Again, I'm on the Picture Tools Format Contextual ribbon and choose Artistic Effects. And these are all the different effects that you can apply to your picture. So you can make it look like a cloth, a sketch, a pencil sketch, a blurred image. And these are really nice effects that you can apply. So if you see one that you like, you can click on it to permanently apply it to your picture. I kind of like this image right here. Doesn't really look like a chicken anymore, but it gives you an idea of some of the artistic effects that you could apply to your picture. Next to artistic effects, you can go to color. So if you want to give it a artistic pop style, you can. Or if you need to make certain corrections to the image, you can do that as well. Don't worry, whatever you apply to your image here in Word does not affect the original file. So I still have my chicken in my pictures folder, and it's the same as it always was. This only changes how it is in Word. Again, if I want to reset my image, I click Reset Picture, and it takes care of all of the formatting I've applied. I encourage you to play with the Picture Tools Format ribbon to see what the different ways that you can adjust your image.